But today's job shows that, jobs report, shows that Bidenomics is working. We added 200,000 jobs, I think 209,000 jobs last month. And all told, we've created over 13 million. I think it's 13,300,000.
Bad news, everybody. The US is expected to be soon drowning in debt as interest costs rise and inflation remains the same. Older Americans are set to receive extra financial assistance in select states nationwide, and the lowest income households will be eligible for rebates of $1,000. According to new research, the US government could be submerged in debt over the next decades, something that can lead to a disaster for markets and the economy. A research firm pointed to a recent projection from the CBO, the budget office, which predicted the ratio of federal debt to the GDP would nearly double from 98% in 2023 to 181% in 2053. In an alternative scenario drafted by the committee responsible for a budget, the debt to GDP ratio could soar even higher. Analysts even said that these projections depict the government drowning in debt. And that could spell trouble for the US, given the current macro environment, where interest rates have been raised aggressively to control inflation. Fed officials have raised the rates aggressively over the past years to tame inflation, and as a move that's raised the cost of borrowing for debt holders. Currently, interest rates are at the highest level since 2001, with the federal funds rate targeting being raised to 5.5%. Meanwhile, the government's debt servicing cost hit $475 billion in 2022, up 35% from the $350 billion spent to service the national debt in 2021. Debt servicing cost will likely increase to $663 billion this year, with total interest payments on a debt potentially amounting to $10 trillion over the next 10 years. Rising debt servicing costs could pose trouble for markets in the economy, and stocks in the economy are already on shaky footing as high rates tighten financial conditions and raise the risk of a recession. Though more economists are warming up for the possibility of a soft landing, the New York Fed has actually priced in a 67% chance that the economy will tip into a downturn by June 2024. Another slowdown is hiring. Last month, it showed that the U.S. post-crisis labor market is actually officially over the U.S. economy. The U.S. economy added 187,000 jobs in July, the fewest since December, and well below the job average gains of 312,000 per month seen over the last year. And for some Wall Street economists, these reports serve as another sign that the post-crisis labor market rush is over. Last year, there were more than 63 million jobs added to the economy, the most since 1940. But now, in 2021, the U.S. economy only added 4 million jobs, which had been the most since 1984 during the last record. During these times, the 10.4 million jobs actually offset 8.7 million jobs during the 2020 crisis. But now, thousands of more older and disabled Pennsylvanians will qualify for help from a landmark state property tax rebate program after the Democratic governor has signed a major expansion into law today. The program, which provides a partial refund on rent or property taxes paid the previous year, offers a financial cushion to some of Pennsylvania's most vulnerable residents. But the number of people receiving the benefit has fallen every year since 2009, after state lawmakers failed to update the income limits to qualify. The new law reverses that decline and seeks to prevent it going forward. An estimated 173,000 households will be eligible, while roughly 400,000 current recipients will receive a boost in the dollar value of their rebates. And income limits will also be adjusted for inflation each year to ensure that the small routine increases to Social Security benefits don't come out of people's pockets. And for this governor, expanding the property tax rent rebate program fulfills a key campaign promise, and it's to help out the American people. Now, folks, thousands of more older and disabled people will qualify for this rebate. And the rebate program has actually not been received with a comprehensive update since 2006, so it's a good thing that some updates are being made. The lowest income households will be eligible for the rebate as well, for up to $1,000. The pause is going to end, and payments will resume, but he did not confirm a specific timeline, leaving borrowers guessing about when and whether to plan for repayment. For over 26 months, payments on most federal student loans have been paused, and interest has been set to zero. Collection efforts against defaulted federal student loan borrowers have also been suspended. That relief was originally provided through the CARES Act, but Biden officials have hinted that yet another extension of the payment and the pause may be coming soon. In response to a reporter's question about whether the president would extend the relief payment again, the officials told reporters that it would continue to access key economic indicators, including cost and inflation. Last week, the education secretary declined to confirm that student loan payments will actually restart this September. He said that Education Department officials are discussing with the White House about when to restart the payment.
Our ports have only been open during the week, Monday through Friday.
Now, this is just in. The unemployment claims are unexpectedly rising. So as the crisis continues to worsen across the country, lawmakers are now in Congress and looking into passing the fourth stimulus checks as soon as this month of January. So even state governors are urging the Biden administration to send out more stimulus money for Americans that are financially struggling right now. And this is a win-win for pretty much everybody. Now folks, on this channel, I always do my very best in providing you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information. So it really means a lot to me if you could subscribe to my channel. Now, according to the Labor Department, initial unemployment claims unexpectedly jumped to a total of 230,000 last week. It still remained low compared to the crisis-era averages. And the Labor Department just released its latest weekly jobless claims report. Despite the rise in filings for the first-time unemployment claims, jobless claims have held near or below the pre-crisis levels for more than a month. But many economists and lawmakers are worried about the slow economic recovery of the crisis. With the crisis making its way across the country and across many states and many cities, Americans are becoming more and more worried about their finances. According to several sources, further economic support must be passed by Congress as soon as possible, as soon as this month. All for the people of America and all for American businesses. Do you guys agree with that message? Do you believe that President Biden has to do all that it takes to send out the fourth stimulus check? The recent surge of the crisis is actually forcing thousands of people off work and putting them under big pressure. But the good news is that there is more stimulus money available to be claimed for by many people. People just have to be ready to receive the stimulus payments, folks, so comment down below if you're ready to receive more stimulus checks from the government. So the latest batch of stimulus payments from California is all heading out in the mail. Families who earn less than $75,000 and met other requirements will receive.
We're saying that. And our distinguished whip, Mr. Clyburn, talked about the three legs of the stool, the rescue package, the BIF, and now this bill being the infrastructure of our future. And of course, our distinguished chair of the Ways and Means Committee who held down the fort for such a long time.
Now, maximum monthly payments will be capped at $1,250. The payments will also be reduced as parents earn an amount of money over different thresholds. The old child tax credit plan was available to everyone, and having requirements would not be popular among progressive Democrats. But if Republicans supported the bill, then the lack of a progressive vote would not be important. There is a huge update on the $1,400 fourth stimulus check package. Lawmakers are making big progress this week. Democrats in Congress are set to complete negotiations and get President Biden's Build Back Better bill passed by the deadline. New budget plans have also been released.
Through our comprehensive and resilience partnership, which we announced last year,